Today is Saturday, May 21st, and today was meet day. Started off the day by first checking my weight, and I was well under, so I was feeling pretty good about that, just because I was uncertain about how the water cut would go. But to wake up this morning and see that I was well underweight made me feel pretty good, and I could finally ingest a little bit of food and water. So that felt pretty good. Weighed in at 79.6, so quite a bit of room. But immediately after, just focused on refeeding, getting sodium back in me with the Pedialyte, eating some real food, drinking water, eating candy, and all that stuff. And it felt pretty good. I didn't feel as I was a little bit worried about feeling physically drained from the water cut, but I felt pretty good even before I replenished, and after I replenished with the foods and water. I felt very good. With these Snatch Warm Ups, it felt like everything was timed really well. I was taking warm ups with enough time in between without feeling super rushed. I wasn't super as honed in, I think, mentally as I would have liked to be. It did sort of feel like I was moving on autopilot on a lot of these reps without being super conscious of the cues that I make sure to tell myself before I go. But I was moving quite well, so I think I just focused on that more than anything, without overthinking anything, and just letting my body do what it knows how to do, essentially. So all these warm-ups felt really solid. 70, yeah. That power was not great, but again, I was just I guess, I don't know. I guess I just wasn't thinking too hard, which I normally do. But here's the second to last warm up at 80. Felt a little weird because I jumped back quite a bit. But 85 this last warm up felt quite good. And so I'm ready to take my opener at 90, which is 5 kilos more than my last opener. And I make it totally fine. That felt pretty good, getting that first snatch in, went up to 95, and then this matches my comp PR. A little bit of shakiness in the right elbow, just a flicker. I wouldn't call it a press out either, when the judges didn't either, but I was just something to be careful for. So I was thinking about pushing up, and I made 100, which is pretty cool because for a few reasons. I think that's one of the best reps that 100 has looked, or that's a rep that, how do I word this? That's the best rep of 100 that I think I've ever done. 2, it's no longer a weight that, has to scare me anymore. I've hit it in competition. And that's a pretty big deal. And so I think a mental block, there was always a big mental block around 100, but now I've already gone past that, and then I'm capable of getting further past that. So that felt really good. And yeah, was really happy with that. 3 for 3 of snatch so far. The clean and jerks were, I think, a little bit of a different story. I think during the warm-ups for the clean and jerks, I might have just been sort of on the high of having went 3 for 3 in the snatch that I wasn't able to focus as well as I would have liked to. Yeah, my mind was, I was just sort of scatterbrained through the warm-up. And there were, I thought I would have adequate time in between each warm-up and sort of feel like the timing was right. But things sort of did go a little more awry, and I had to take warm-ups when I wasn't expecting to, and the timing was a little bit off. That just sort of, I think, that being me being scatterbrained did have a pretty big effect. And here, right there, I took 80 for a power clean twice, which I normally don't do. I just fully forgot to go into a full clean. So again, just a brain fart. I also was not moving as well as I thought I was for the snatch warm-ups. But yeah, basically there was also another mishap where they thought my opener was 118, and so they were calling for my name before I even took my last warm-up at 110. And so that caused a little bit of confusion, and also caused a little bit more rushing in the second half of the clean warm-ups. So yeah, I took 100, which I think was pretty solid, but I thought I would have a lot more time to rest after this 100 before I take 110, but I basically had to take it immediately after. So here's my last warm-up. Clean is easy. Clean feels really good because my legs feel very, like they just feel really strong today. Jerk, I guess, was also pretty solid there, but so here's the first attempt, and the quality gets a little bit lower, which is unfortunate, but it's just because it was texted to me by Aaron. But the clean is easy, and this jerk here, I don't know that it was a kind of a clear press out, at least from this angle, but I ended up getting it 2-1, which was really lucky for me because the next two I miss. This second one, I get it overhead and I stand up with it, but it is unfortunately a press out, and it's pretty clear. So yeah, they definitely had every right to not give that to me. Yeah, I guess it's harder to tell from this angle, but my right arm was quite bent. And then I was going to take it again, but I took just 1 kilo up just so I can get one person's worth of a break longer. Clean is easy once again, but I'm just a little too gassed to make this jerk, unfortunately. So went 1 for 3 on the clean and jerk, going 4 for 6 for the day, with a total of 220, which actually matches my comp PR, but at a weight class lower. About 15 pounds less in terms of weight than before. So honestly, although I didn't necessarily PR on my total, I've made huge strides, and which is pretty crazy given that I had difficulty walking several months ago. So yeah, that was meet day. Went well. Now it's time to gear up for under 25 nationals.